The Mischief at the River. One warm afternoon, when the golden sun shimmered softly over the flowing waters of the Yamuna, Kana and his dear friends wandered toward the riverbank. The air was fragrant with wild blossoms, and a gentle breeze carried the soothing murmur of the sacred river. The boys had been running and playing since morning, and the cool waters sparkled invitingly before them. "Let's swim," cried Sabala joyfully. Without waiting another moment, he leapt into the Yamuna with a great splash. Kana laughed, his eyes dancing with delight, and followed at once. Soon Sadama, Madhu Mangal, and Bhadra were all in the water, splashing one another, racing from shore to shore, and trying with great determination and very little success to catch the tiny silver fish darting through their fingers. Their laughter rang like bells across the riverbank. After some time, Kana grew quiet. A familiar twinkle of mischief began to glow in his lotus-like eyes. He swam close to Madhu Mangal and whispered something softly into his ear. Madhu Mangal's eyes widened, and then he burst into laughter. "What are you planning now, Kana?" Sadama asked, narrowing his eyes playfully. Kana's smile widened. "The gopis will soon come to fetch water. Shall we give them a little surprise?" The boys exchanged eager glances. A plan from Kana was never ordinary. Quickly, they climbed out of the river and hid behind the leafy bushes near the path, trying, though not very successfully, to hold back their giggles. Before long, a group of gopis appeared, gracefully balancing clay pots on their hips. They chatted cheerfully as they approached the water, unaware of the playful ambush waiting nearby. Kana lifted his hand as a signal. And then, he sprang out from behind the bushes. "Boo!" The gopis gasped. One pot slipped, another wobbled, and a few rolled gently toward the edge of the river. For one brief moment, there was silence. Then the boys exploded into laughter. The gopis quickly realized who stood before them, Kana, peeking out with the most innocent expression imaginable. "Kana," one gopi exclaimed, trying to appear stern. "You frightened us." Kana placed his hand upon his chest and widened his eyes in mock surprise. "I was only helping you cool down from the heat," he said sweetly. The gopis tried to remain upset, but their smiles betrayed them. Just then, while they were distracted, Madhu Mangal quietly handed Kana an empty clay pot. Without hesitation, Kana placed it upside down upon his head and began to walk gracefully, imitating the careful, elegant steps of the gopis. He swayed from side to side with exaggerated seriousness, adjusting an imaginary veil, lifting his chin proudly as though he were the queen of Vraja. The boys laughed so loudly that even the birds fluttered from the nearby trees. And the gopis, though they tried to hide it, could not stop giggling. Kana spun once, twice, pretending to steady the pot as though it might fall at any moment. Then, with a dramatic bow, he removed it and handed it back. "Here you are, Didi," he said cheerfully. "All ready for water." One gopi shook her head affectionately. "You are impossible, Kana. But what would we ever do without you?" Kana tilted his head thoughtfully. "You would be very bored," he replied with a mischievous grin. Laughter once again filled the warm afternoon air. Soon the gopis filled their pots and began walking back toward the village, still smiling and glancing over their shoulders at the playful boys. As the sun slowly dipped lower, painting the sky in soft shades of gold and rose, Kana and his friends sat quietly by the riverbank. The Yamuna flowed peacefully, as if carrying the echoes of their laughter within her gentle waves. Madhu Mangal stretched out upon the grass with a satisfied sigh. Today was a very good day. Kana smiled softly, watching the shimmering waters. "Yes," he said gently, "but tomorrow will be even better." And as evening settled tenderly over Vraja, the boys rose and made their way home, their hearts light, their spirits joyful, already dreaming of their next playful adventure by the sacred river. Thank you for listening. May Krishna's Leelas bring peace and happiness. Another gentle story of Krishna is waiting. Hare Krishna.